Remember that time you forgot these iconic Disney movies?
The Lord is good to me.
And she was stolen. Somebody took that heart.
Disney made me sad about a fedora.
Mr. Toad!
Melody Time is a collage of animated films. They're shorts.
An anthology, much like all the things we're talking about, where there are a number of different animated little shorts.
There were 6 of these films that got released in the 40s because a ton of the folks that were working at the animation studio got drafted into World War II. And so without the resources to make features after they made Bambi, they made 6 of these films all in a row. They featured short stories or like musical numbers rather than one full feature-length picture. And this happened until Cinderella in 1950.
So when it's just a little bit of minutes, short and sweet. That's where shorts came from.
Okay, Melody Time. I'm a big fan.
Name as many shorts as I can from Melody Time.
Oh, sweet Lord.
Once Upon a Winter Time.
So the one where the 2 like teenagers in Victorian times are like in the snow ice skating.
When I go ice skating, it does not look like that. It mostly looks like if you put a small baby giraffe on ice.
I remember being very into the ice skater having like 14 layers of skirts. Like I thought that was a classy thing.
And it's really pretty, and I guarantee, even if you don't know what we're talking about, the second you see the animation, you will know exactly what we're talking about.
Bees. It's just called Bees.
And it is set to that very famous Flight of the Bumblebee song, but it's like jazzy. They want to give them the old razzle dazzle, and the bees are like, and all that jazz, buzzity, 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 and all that jazz. Start the car, I know a whoopee hive where the honey's hot, and Catherine Zeta-Jones is there.
I was very afraid for the bee getting squished.
It's like a piano attacking a bee.
Is that what happened to the bees? Because right now in the universe, the bees are dying at an alarming rate. Like, you should not kill bees if you see a bee. You should save bees. And I didn't realize this whole time it's because they were being abused by musical notes.
But you know, bees are now extinct, and it has a lot to do with me, especially jazz music.
I don't like the way that Pecos Bill is animated.
There's a live action Roy Rogers lead in to the Pecos Bill short. And Bobby Driscoll looks right at camera and goes, "Ew, a woman in this story."
Aw, shucks, a woman in the story.
What a sign of the times.
And I don't like his horse Widowmaker.
Is the implication there that the horse killed people? Or is it just that Pecos Bill killed people on the horse?
So Sue and Pecos Bill are gonna get hitched. And she wants to do their wedding, as every bride does, on the back of the horse named Widowmaker. But she insists on wearing a bustle on her booty, and it's made of metal.
She's like, I'm wearing a bustle for my wedding. And I'm riding in on Widowmaker. And Widowmaker is like, there is no way in the dusty plains of the Wild West that you are sitting your bustly butt on my back.
So he bounced her off, and she hit her butt, and she flew up into the air a little bit, pretty high. But then she came back down and fell back on it, and then she bounced up even higher.
To the moon.
This is what we themed a Magic Kingdom quick service dining experience after. But I do love a Fixin's bar.
Johnny Appleseed is my favorite.
I've got to go with my Johnny Appleseed. Johnny Appleseed!
Okay, first of all, he must have had a huge pot, because this is a pretty big one, and it's balancing on my head, which is very uncomfortable.
In the legend of Johnny Appleseed, there is an old man who sings a song about all the ways that you can eat an apple.
Johnny, you gotta get out there in the wilderness. You got some planting to do.
Love that. For some reason, it's been in my head, and he peels the apple, and it looks really good. That's what I remember most from Melody Time, and it's the best part, is when the old man sings about all the ways that you can cook an apple, and he puts a whole pie in Johnny's mouth. A whole pie! This way!
Oh, wow, I'm in Sunday school immediately. Oh my goodness, we have just flashed back. The Lord is good to me, and so I thank the Lord
for giving me the things I need, the sun and the rain and the apple seed.
Oh, the Lord is good to me.
That is not what I ever thought I'd sing on this show.
The Lord is good to me. Fun, fun, fun and fancy free.
Oh, fun and fancy free.
Fun and fancy free!
Fun and Fancy Free is a Disney animated classic that is comprised of 2 different segments put together.
There's Bongo and there's Mickey and the Beanstalk, which I love and I'm so excited to talk about.
Oh my gosh, Bongo, that little bear.
So, Bongo is a bear. He's a circus bear.
Who's just performing in the circus. He had a cute little hat and like a little jacket, and he just like performed, and he was overworked. He was tired, and he just needed a vacation, y'all.
Because of living a life of abuse and mistreatment, runs away from the circus.
And those warm blankets and meals that he used to get all the time, he wasn't getting those no more. You know, everything became kind of crazy, and he was ready to give up, and then he done caught a view.
Bongo sees a lady bear that he's got his eye on, and he's like, hello, lady bear. I'm gonna get a little flower in my lapel, and I'm gonna come talk to you, lady bear.
All these other bears, like they like observing them, they looking like, how he get hurt? Like, how he get hurt? And I'm thinking one of the other bears was like, it's the hat. It's gotta be the hat. I gotta get myself a hat.
Then she slaps him, and he's like, betrayal. And the music's even like, betrayal.
There's a big, honkin', mean, very chauvinistic bear. And he's mean to Bongo because he also wants the lady bear.
The song is like, when a something wants to something and a something wants to something, but a bear likes to say it with a slap. And it's saying that bears say I love you by slapping each other in the face. And so really the girl bear was trying to say I love you. So then Bongo like bucks up and goes and rescues girl bear from Big Scary Bear, and he slaps her and she's like, ah! And then they get to be together and Bongo doesn't have to go back to the circus.
Probably their relationship will end though, because love isn't real.
Just a PSA, you should never slap a bear. That's about the worst thing you could do, even if you love them.
And wouldn't that be hilarious if that's how we greet each other? Like if I was like, oh hey Breedlove, it's good to see you. Love you.
Jiminy Cricket is used to go between Bongo and Mickey and the Beanstalk, and Jiminy Cricket's plotline, he like goes to a party at Edgar Bergen and his ventriloquist dummies, Mortimer and Charlie.
When he's doing his thing, it's interesting to watch him. And
I don't like those puppets.
the guy's little,
Creepy. Okay? Let me tell you something. Ever since Goosebumps, y'all, grew up reading Goosebumps, haven't been into ventriloquy, okay?
You know what? They didn't have the internet, so ventriloquism was like really a great birthday party trick. Now you just give all the kids iPads and sugar. The bongo part, I can give or take, but Mickey and the Beanstalk is one of the greatest pieces of Disney animation ever.
I love Mickey and the Beanstalk.
Mickey and the Beanstalk is Disney's retelling of...
Definitely not Jack and the Beanstalk.
Hootie and the Beanstalk? Peter? Willie? Who normally has a beanstalk?
It's definitely not Jack and the Beanstalk.
Pete. Pete and the Beanstalk. Bob.
It's another thing that they made up.
Jack and the Beanstalk. I should have known that. It stars Mickey and Donald and Goofy.
They're roommates. You know, they have their own houses, but occasionally they just become roommates.
They live in Happy Valley and everything's great because they have this harp who sings.
And she was gold, and she was grand, and she was stolen. Somebody took that harp.
And one of them buys magic beans, and then Donald gets mad and throws them outside, and they make a giant beanstalk.
It grew a big beanstalk that went through the house and raised them up into the sky while they were sleeping.
Picks up their blanket and their bed, and they're like about to fall. It's really great animation.
And on top there is a giant. I don't remember his name.
The giant's name is Willie. He has a really righteous bowl cut, which is a choice that he and his giant barber made together. I don't know if it was the right choice.
I like Willie. I know that Morgan had a weird fear of Willie as a child, which is funny because Willie's not scary.
Maybe it's because I've been pretty like short and small my whole life that like giant people, I'm afraid they'll squish me or something. I don't know.
There they are. 3 poor farmers gripped by the pangs of starvation.
Okay, Make My Music is yet another fantastic collection of random Disney animated featurettes.
This one's the oldest.
1946. Shut up. Nuh-uh. Really? I must be related to Raven Baxter. I must be psychic. I don't know. Just zoom in on my eye really quick.
Casey at the Bat is the story of a young man who's playing baseball, and he just wants some corn dog nuggets. So he goes on down to Main Street, USA, and he says, "Give me some corn dog nuggets and some plastic cheese, and that'll be a home run for my mouth."
Because we're continuing with our theme of quick service restaurants named after anthology shorts.
When is Sunny Eclipse getting a short? The one we all want to know a little more about.
Casey and the Bat is sort of like a tortoise and the hare kind of story. He's like, I'm so good, I'm gonna get a home run, and you know, he's stacked. This guy is so strong.
He was a cracker jack of a fella, if you know what I mean, as they say in baseball culture, which I'm very familiar with.
And he just lets balls go by, and he's like, I'm gonna wait till the last minute. And he swings so hard on the last one, and you think it's gonna be a home run.
And then Casey strikes out. The whole time they're talking about how Casey is so cool and never strikes out, and then he does.
Quincy believed that the moral of this story is just be Casey and all of those things are okay. It's totally fine to be a braggadocious, egotistical person as long as you deliver on the third pitch, right? That is what Quincy's takeaway was from this, because she'd never seen it before. She thought Casey was just going to hit a home run, and that was going to be the story. Can you believe that?
My little hats are friends. Now they're dating, and I'm a horse owner.
Johnny Fedora and Alice Bluebonnet is just a wild and crazy ride.
Johnny Fedora and Alice Bluebonnet met sitting in the window of a department store.
I should first just start by saying that the name Johnny Fedora sounds like it is straight out of Entourage. That sounds like an Entourage character.
Reminds me of how Cars is animated Cars. They animated 2 hats. There's a businessman hat, he's like a fedora, and Alice Bluebonnet is this beautiful frilly hat that you might see on Mary Poppins and a Jolly Holiday.
And they fall in love, as hats do.
Johnny Fedora is like, look at that pretty blue bonnet. I didn't do Johnny's voice right, hold on. Cracker Jack. Well, Alice, why can I only do Southern accents? Okay, here we go, I got it. It's happening. This is gonna be the whole segment. It's just gonna be me freaking out about accents. I don't care.
Oh, check her out. Oh, what I wouldn't give.
I know I'm gonna look so crazy, but I don't care.
But eventually, we love a happy ending. The 2 hats get swept up by people who put them on their horses that pull their carriages, and it turns out the two horses are teammates. It's a pair of horses pulling a carriage. One of them's wearing the fedora, one of them is wearing the bonnet, and it's adorable, and it's lovely. And
so it just goes to show you, life might kick you down, life might cut holes in you, it might even crush you, but if you keep holding on to hope, you will be reunited with love once again. Not that this story has any relation to me, but I'm just saying. Uh-oh.
Johnny Fedora met Alice Bluebonnet in the Ichabod and Mr. Toad.
All right, sorry, what are we talking about?
We're talking about the adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad.
You want me to talk about Mr. Toad?
Yeah, we actually picked this topic.
Woo! Woo! Okay, let's talk about Mr. Toads. I'm ready.
The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad.
Legendary, okay? Legendary.
This is another anthology film. I know. Plot twist.
the first part is The Wind in the Willows, which is the story of Mr. Toad.
The most fabulous character in all of British literature is a toad.
And the second part is The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, which is the story of Sleepy Hollow.
The Wind in the Willows is about Mr. Toad doing crazy things.
This is important because if you recall back, there was an episode of RTT where we talked about, I know this is going to come as a shock, we talked about Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. I have art. Look at my art. I wish my home was Toad Hall. Oh, I'm so excited.
There is a little guy, and his name is J. Thaddeus Toad. And he is a millionaire and very eccentric and very bad with his money.
He made like a bargain or something with a bartender who spun beer glasses on his hands, and he lost the deed to his house. He was swindled out of his house.
Have you seen Toad Hall?
Chaos ensues. Eventually, Mr. Toad ends up in jail.
And the facts should have been presented a little bit more. The evidence should have been presented a little more. I'm looking for Olivia Pope. Where is Olivia Pope?
The judge felt pretty much like he had his mind made up going into this case.
I do just feel like this is a cautionary tale about, like, just listen to your friends.
They're not good friends. And they're like, snitches get stitches.
The Legend of Sleepy Hollow is the story of Ichabod Crane, who is a lanky lad who would like a lass to love, but alas, loses his head. Could be. The world may never know.
I will say that it is kind of interesting that Disney did this legend because it is like, it has since been redone in like a lot of forms, but mostly like in horror movies. So it is kind of like a very adult theming that Disney did as a cartoon. And even the ending, the ambiguity is kind of freaky as a kid.
Bing Crosby narrated The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
And we need to talk about Mr. Toad's Wild Ride for just a second, all right? Because you all think that ride doesn't make any sense. I'm here to lay it out for you. Let's talk about it real quick, scene by scene. All right, scene 1.
Listen, how am I going to be in a video with Jared Bradshaw, who has the sheet music to the song from Sleepy Hollow, who is able to open that sheet music up, read the lyrics and notes directly out of the original, very, 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 very rare Bing Crosby sheet music? I'm not gonna do it, but you know what I will do? I'll say, take it away, Jared.
For once you have met that little coquette Katrina, You won't forget Katrina.
Jared has the sheet music. That tracks.
I think the Headless Horseman is the Disney villain that doesn't get enough play.
I really like that the Headless Horseman comes to the Magic Kingdom because it's really, really cool. And I think a lot of people don't know anything about the Headless Horseman other than, ooh, the Headless Horseman rides tonight. So it's really fun to see the backstory. But he does kick off the parade at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. And it is awesome.
Even though I think the Headless Horseman is the one part that I might use as an argument to say, not so scary? I think this is pretty scary. To me.
Mr. Toad! Hello!
All 4 of these films are shorts packaged together to create a full-length animated feature film that was released by the Walt Disney Company in the 1940s.
I think a lot of these films do stand the test of time. They're very enjoyable, and I think kids and adults alike are still watching them and enjoying them, because I know that I am.
I love them. Yes, I do. I feel like there's a place for them. I feel like people want to see good. I feel like maybe they had a reason why I am so cheery and happy, and I'm not tooting my own horn. We got little Toot to do that. Yeah. I just think that there's a place for them, and I feel like Disney should definitely pick it back up again because it's awesome.
I think it would be a really cool Disney Plus show to do, to release these shorts, to do some new ones, some new original music, some new original characters. Maybe let's go into folklore a little bit more because they seem to do that a lot. I'd be into that.
I wish that Disney would do anthology short films so we could get more interesting things to come out. Now Pixar does it very well, but give us more. Oh, what the heck? Oh yes, I want some more anthology films. Yeehaw!
I think shorts anthologies are really cool, and I would absolutely go crazy for a modern shorts anthology that's done in traditional 2D animation, because that's what we're missing. We don't get to see traditional hand-drawn animation anymore because everything's CG. That would make me a very, very happy Disney fan.
That's so RJ. It's the future I can. Well, actually, you know what? I'm seeing the past, so maybe I need to reverse that. That's so RJ. It's the future I can see. I did it again, but that's okay because I can see the future too. Apparently, if I can see the past, I can see the future as well.
Hey everybody, it's Molly. Thank you so much for watching this episode of RTT. Make sure you like and subscribe and ring that notification bell so you know when new episodes are coming out. But if you want more RTT right now, click over here for a playlist of episodes all about Disney movies. And if you want more All Ears, click over here for a video where we answer the big question, are there too many Beauty and the Beast restaurants in Disney parks? Thanks for watching!